Hey there. Do you remember the gas station that I found over in Siberia? The one that I made up the characters, Sal and Ruth? I think I found out their names. I'm on my way out to the desert right now, and I had to stop here at this gasoline stand. That's how we called it in Japan. Gas station, just to lay down in the shade and hide from the sun because I was overheating on the bike. And I'd picked up this book over in Barstow, Silence in the Sun. That, wow, it deals exactly with the part of the desert that I'm dealing with, including Siberia. And it's got a little index in the back, a list of Amboy residents, and what's Amboy and the surrounding communities. I'm going to switch the camera now. Sorry that last bit got caught off. I ended up, something happened. I'll explain a little later, and then I'll give you those names of the real names of Sal and Ruth. But now I'm back in Siberia. This is just becoming almost routine now. Coming every 2 weeks. Arrive just in time for a train. It's still hot, but I think I can handle it. I wonder if I can go hide over here behind. I wonder if there's some shade in the ruins. Something I'd never thought about. Anyway, that couple, I found that book lists the names of people that lived out here. It came from tax records, and there were only 2 names from Siberia. Most of them are for Amboy, and so I'm going to go ahead and use my imagination and imagine that it was the couple that ran that gas station down there. Well, look at this. There is indeed some shade right there. This is good to know. I didn't realize this. So at least I can come over here and hide from the shade a little bit. I should probably start setting up my camp over here. Just that there's nails in the dirt. I have to be careful of. Woo! Hot. Okay, we'll stop now and go decide what I'm gonna do for camp. Okay, here's the name of those 2 people. It's where is it? It's John W. Gray and Mrs. Julia F. Gray. They were here from 1936 to 1944 here in Siberia, right by my finger there. And they're the only ones in Siberia in this whole thing. So I wonder if that's the proprietors of the gas station. I gotta get out of this heat. I'm gonna go hide under the railroad, under the Route 66. I think I'm getting a little heat delirious. Just set up tent, set up camp, ready for the night. But the heat is the sun is just blistering hot. I don't mean to complain, but wow. Glad it's gonna be down soon. I'm gonna go hide. Let's capture a little of this delirium hike, leaving my camp behind, all set up. Straighten up my hat. I'm really hot. The thing that I use to hold on to this thing, the steady cam that I'm holding on to right now is just blistering hot right now. In fact, my arms are pretty weak. I don't think I'm even going to hold the steady cam very steady. But right over there, there's a bridge over a wash on Route 66. I'm just going to go duck in there for an hour or so. But I'll walk slowly over there. I got this strange apprehension that there's nothing more to say about this place that I come back to so routinely now. These rocks look like they've been piled up. I feel like I've said it all, but I'm gonna bring the camera along just in case. I imagine, I don't know. But as soon as it's cold enough to begin hiking in earnest, I'll be heading out there into the deep water wilderness to overnight. I'm sure there's lots of thoughts out there to find. I don't think I'm in any real danger out here, although I don't really know. I seem pretty red. Anyway, I'm definitely, this sounds melodramatic, but it's true. I'm definitely closer to death now than I was this morning when I was safe back in my little apartment with my family back in Irvine. I mean, gosh, that place is so nice, so comfy. It's so hard to imagine death there, which is, but out here, especially in this moment right now, as I make my way towards shelter to get out of this heat, death seems so much more apparent, and I like that. I really do. I'm caught. Well, this looks like it's a little line, trail of some sort. I'm sensitive to the fact that people might think I'm depressed or you know, wrapped up in my own worldly nihilism, which is probably true, that latter one. Certainly not depressed. This is the best. It sounds cliche to say this, but I really do mean it. This is the best period of my life yet. The 50s are simply phenomenal. But and it's not because of the 50s. I think it's because of the courses, the changes, the decisions, and course that my life has taken, and the people that I've chosen to journey that course with. But I am off topic. I wanted to say was John McCain. He's a senator. I'm going to speak as if nobody knows who he is, although if you watch this immediately after I make it, you know who he is. An American senator. And I imagine a lot of the stuff that I make is like, well, look how the creosote branches dug out the hole from the wind. And I imagine that, you know, my great-great-grandchild might see this video and they won't know who John McCain is. Anyway, John McCain killed, and I don't want to get political in my video, but so I won't. I'll just simply say the fact. He killed the attempt to repeal the Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare, and he's a Republican. Obamacare was a liberal democratic type of supporty thing, you know, entitlements and the like. And the Republicans didn't really like that. They wanted to get rid of it, and they really came close to getting rid of it. And John McCain threw the deciding vote with literally a very dramatic downward thumb, and it was almost like a Caesar giving judgment on a gladiator that he felt wasn't worthy. Now, I don't think that, I'm going to speculate, I think he wanted the bill. I think he wants to repeal Obamacare. That's not why he said no. What he said no was against the procedural, or the lack of procedural propriety that was taken to get to that point. And the thing that I want to say is, you know, when you push out like this, like you come to a place like this, it gets you to a rarefied place where you're not so interested in the petty stuff about yourself, but more, you know, about your reputation or your image or your what do you call it? My mind's a little gone. Your consistency. But you'd rather just do what you think is right. And I think that what happened with John McCain was, he was diagnosed with brain cancer. He'll probably be dead within half a year. I don't mean to sound callous in saying that, it's just a fact. And he probably decided, he said so in a speech 2 days before that. He basically said, we need to do what's right. But rushing a bill through the way we're doing this is not right. So he dropped that thumb down in a moment of introspection, trying to do what's right. So again, it wasn't necessarily that he doesn't want to repeal the Affordable Care Act. It's just that he wanted to do the bill right. And that's what, for me, coming to places like this does. It forces me to look past the normal things that I want out of life, or the image that I want to give, or the things that distract me, and instead to try to focus down on what's really important, and looking out at the great indifference that's out there is an incredible tool to manage that and to remind myself of that. So with that, I'm at the bridge. I'm going to duck here in the shade and cool off and just step back from the edge. Wow, am I really that red? See ya. Of course, I couldn't sit very long under there. 5 minutes probably. And I started getting out to walk around. The sun's going down far enough, so I think I'm on the lee edge. But I found this piece of wood here, so I went back to get the camera because I left it there. I just want to show this to you. This looks really old. I mean, clearly it's probably just an old 4x4 or something like that. But just look how it's been splintered and just worn. But sorry, kicking it. But look, it's just so weathered. Wow, it's just spectacular. Probably bought here by some miners and used up there in the mountains and washed down here over, decades. Just really no sharp edges. Just it's like a mummy. It's like a wooden mummy. Wow, look at that. Okay, I'm just gonna walk down this wash. Let's go see. Here's an old road running parallel to Route 66, which is right over there. But look at this. I mean, it looks pretty good, but things don't change very often. Ah, beaver tail cactus. Look at that. I can hardly tell that's a road. Wow, that's a good photo. Let's get a photo. Wow. And then it just comes into the wash and disappears. I wonder if it just continues. I wonder if this is one of the old roads, the old Route 66. The thing that I personally rail against is my continued tendency to walk in others' footprints and follow the trails of others. And this trail here in the desert really brings that thought to mind. Someone made this trail here for some reason that extends back there about a football field length in bits and pieces. You can find intermittently and come along here. And every time I come here, I walk the trail. And it reminds me that I'm doing the same thing when I'm back with my family and my co-workers and in my society. I'm just walking a trail that others have outlined through past precedent and perceived best practice. And a lot of them is pretty silly. I almost said stupid, and some of that too. I don't know that I need to enumerate the things, just to say that a lot of them are taken up just as a point of convenience. And as I spend more and more time alone in the wilderness, I find myself more and more finding myself needing to find my own paths, especially when I go out into places like that, the deep water wilderness, where there are no paths. And that's having an impact on my life in general, and so far as seeing the paths that are laid out for me. And I must confess that it's sometimes with just a kind of a lazy ease that I'll just go ahead and accept those paths for convenience. But more and more, I don't want to. Little by little, I'd rather find my own path. And here it is. There's the path of another right there. See? I don't want to walk on somebody else's path. I want to go my own way. Such a rebel. Such a rebel!